Hey butterflies, hey butterflies. Welcome to the Alchemy Doctress. Here is where we turn shadows into strategy and purpose into power through wisdom, our subconscious, and the strength and energy of those who came before us. If you are called to this video, I am so sure that this video is about you and for you. And it's here to help you with guidance as you continue moving along on your journey. I see myself as being like a glitch in the matrix. I see myself being like a glitch in the matrix. And I'm just here to show up and give you a piece of encouragement, information, support, coaching, whatever that is that you need in this journey, in this process. And this morning, I had this message on my heart when I woke up, and Spirit said, this is the collective message that someone needed to hear. And if you are here right now listening, you are that someone. And the message was that you are a prophet amongst wolves and sheep. You are a prophet amongst wolves and sheep. And I sat with that. I even tried to Google it to see if it was a saying. And when I put it into Google, it came back with an error. I couldn't even get a response for it. So then I went over to ChatGPT and I put it in there. I got an error on there. No response, no answer. Even AI could not answer that message. And so I sat with Spirit and I'm like, a prophet amongst wolves and sheep. A prophet is someone who understands the patterns of the universe and is able to tap into the energy of the space around and within the universe. They're very aware, very aware. Wolves are also aware, but they take that level of awareness to use it to their advantage, to get something, to win something, to obtain something. Sheep are the ones being guided. So we hear this in religious texts of the shepherd and the sheep, things of that nature, right? This is giving the energy of there are some prophets and there are some wolves that are dressed up as prophets. And they take the information and they use it for their good to obtain what they want or what they desire. So it was never for the betterment of the sheep. They were just cosplaying as that prophet energy so that they could get access to the sheep, like a predator energy. You've been able to see through that. You're able to see through to people and you can tell, okay, they're preying on this or they're preying on this, or you can see through situations. And you may have been in a place where you've been able to see through the intentions or energy of people and things and places. And that could have had you in a space where your energy could no longer be connected in those spaces or with those people because of what you've obtained or gathered or learned or sensed or felt, right? And if you're here, you have made a prediction before. And in that prediction, it predicted some very serious things. Okay. It predicted some very serious things. And the downfall kicker is the fact that no one believed you. No one believes you. This may even be going on right now where you're trying to warn someone or share, something with someone and they're not listening. They don't believe you. And that can hurt when you know something to be and you're not believed when you try to share or um, help guide. You know what I'm saying? But the wisdom in this is that avoid the conflict. Don't go after, I'm seeing like the Five of Wands in reverse energy, avoid the conflict. Don't go towards the issue. Don't go towards the person, the people, the spaces. Um, but make sure you protect your energy, because what's happening is that the wolves are only gaining the knowledge and information because they're getting it from the prophets. The wolves are only gaining the information to trick the sheep because they are getting it from the prophets. And what this means is that you need to know that as you continue to elevate and grow, as your wisdom, your knowledge, everything increases, wolves are going to seek you out because they need your energy. They need your energy. It makes me think of, oh, great example, Spirit. Okay. It makes me think of, have you ever dated someone and their whole personality was just a mess, honey? Okay. And once you started dating them, they started getting a personality. They started picking up on your mannerisms. They started going to your restaurants. They started trying the things that you do. And then y'all end things. And then they go to the next person with all the things that you gave them. Spirit needs you to know that there's people in the world who seek out different types of people for what they can get from them and learn from them and inherently take from them so that they can implement it within themselves. And they want to obtain this energy and this information for less energy on their end as possible, right? Because their goal is just to take, to get, so that they can use it to obtain or trick on their own energy. You get what I'm saying? And so, if you are guided to this message, you're being pushed into an area of life where wolves are going to start coming around you. And that's natural, that's life. But it's important for you to use your discernment. It's important for you to use your intuition. When you feel that energy or if you feel something is off, be honest with yourself about that feeling. Be honest with yourself about that vibration, because you need to understand that they're not going to look like a wolf. It makes me think of, I was on TikTok one day and a video that came up and was like, I know an undercover cop when I see one. It was an undercover cop dressed up as a homeless person. And you can very much so tell that this person was undercover. Very much so tell. They were in a store buying a bag of chips, but like their clothes looked like it was like the rips in it looked like it was intentional rips. Um, from their shoes, their stance, because those who are in the like it just, you could tell that that was not a real homeless person, that they were cosplaying so that they can get close to something as an undercover cop. You get what I'm saying? The same thing happens as undercover everything. Like you have people who cosplay and they hide in spaces to gather information, to gather things that they couldn't get on their own. We see this happen everywhere. The example I just gave over the undercover cop information, right? So, what's happening right now is that you need to understand how valuable you are. You, You who is watching this right now or listening to this right now, you may not be actively just looking at it. You may just be listening. But yes, you, okay? You need to know how important your energy is right now. That's why this message appeared for you, because this message, even for those who are subscribed to my channel, they're not going to get a notification for this, because I've already used 3 notifications on the channel. So if you find yourself get within the last 24 hours, so if you find yourself getting a notification, then this definitely means that you were supposed to get this message. And this is not meant to make you afraid of being around people, make you afraid of sharing, or make you afraid. No, it's not meant to do any of that. You need to understand that your job is your job. The purpose that you came for here, um, on this earth, is still that. But you need to understand, within the universe, and the principles of the universe, there's always the polarities, and everything has its opposite. Okay. Um, and with everything having its opposite, you need to understand the opposite of you wanting to do things that are, good and right for humanity, 1111. There's going to be people who want to do the opposite. So they just want the information that they know creates certain things, but it's for their own good. And we've seen this happen in history time and time again with the conquering of the various countries and lands and things of that nature, where they come in as if they're friends. They come in as if they're your friend, they're your ally. They're there to support you, they're there to help you. But whole time they're there to help sabotage you. Okay, it's a wasp. Now I don't do wasp. Now, Mr. Wasp, don't, as long as you don't come mess with me, I ain't gonna get you. I need you to understand that, okay? Because y'all like to mess with people intentionally. So I need you to not get too you getting too close to me. And I don't like that. Oh, I thought so. I thought so. Okay, it did. I had to make sure it really flew out. It flew out. You got to talk to your enemy and let your enemy know that you know them. The thing is that your word is so freaking powerful. You need to know that. So when you speak, I need you to speak out and realize that you are the author, that you are the spell energy, right? In a positive way. So speak out against those things. Those things have no dominion over you. Those things will not be able to understand and take your information. This makes me think about in Sinners. Did y'all see that movie Sinners? And how in the movie Sinners, Annie was sharing that the way the vampirism worked was, if the every person who turned, their sire, the person who turned them, the primary one, they have access to their memories and their knowledge. Okay. Mind you, Annie was hoodoo. Okay. And in Annie being hoodoo, she had a lot of ancestral knowledge and information and magic inside of her that was passed down. You get what I'm saying? So when she got bitten, that's why she told him, she said, "Hey, if I get bitten, if they get me, I need you to take me all the way out before I turn. Because if I turn, then I will not be able to make it to the other side." Now, she didn't say this part, but it's clearly, if A plus B equals C, because she shared, if she would have turned over, he would have had all her knowledge. So basically, the enemy would have had all of her knowledge of her ancestral wealth, her ancestral magic, her ancestral practices, if she would have completely turned. This is where we're at right now within the energy. You need to know what you are working with around you. You need to know the wealth of the knowledge that you have within you. You need to know when you're going to have people who, okay, you're going to have people who come around you who are within your lineage, and they just need to be reminded of their magic and power, right? But the way that's going to work is that you're going to say certain things or do certain things that's going to activate their DNA within them, that's going to help them remember who they are, right? But then you also have other people that's not going to work. They're going to want you to teach them explicitly each step. You get what I'm saying? Because it's not in them. Now, there are certain things that you can teach and put out there and do. Of course, there's nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to like deep practices and things of that nature, you're at the place of your life where spirit is saying, hold things dear to yourself. It makes me think of that saying where they be saying, dang, we can't keep nothing for ourselves no more. I can't keep nothing for myself no more, right? It's something about you knowing what to keep for yourself and what is meant to be shared and where it's meant to be shared. Those who is giving like a secret handshake energy, but it's giving like a secret spiritual, like genetically, DNA, like energetic handshake. Um, if you feel uneasy about something, question it. I'm hearing all skin folk are not kinfolk, because even when you look at within history and what has happened in history and all the different movements and things of that nature, they all got with someone who infiltrated their system. They all got by someone who infiltrated their system. They trusted someone who they initially didn't trust. I keep hitting the mic. I apologize if it's messing up the sound when I do that. Um, it always end up being the person that they initially didn't trust. Okay? Everyone, literally. And the movie that's coming up to me right now is what was it, Judas and the Messiah, that it was going over with Fred Hammond, and just that process. It's like they train the undercover people. The wolves are very trained to know what to do to get in, to be around. They know exactly what to say. They know the different keywords because they've been studying other spaces. And you need to understand, the people who are making their way to you, they had to go through at least three other people before they got to you. So they had to go through three different levels of people and to obtain their knowledge and their information to even appear to be close to your equal on your level. So these people are highly trained. They are highly trained to get intel on what it is that they desire and what they want. And what you also need to know is that a part of their goal is to shift your perception. A major part of their goal is to shift your perception. So to shift your perception of reality, to shift the messages that you receive. So they're meant to come in, cause a spirit of confusion, make you doubt yourself, not give you your worth. So say you're dating someone, right? And this person, they continuously, like, they keep trying to do bare minimum type of things, and you have your standards, right? But even though they keep trying to do these bare minimum things, like, they won't let you go either. Their energy won't let you go. It feels like a bound energy, like a seven of wands, I got you bound, with a four of wands energy. You're a challenge. You're the next level challenge. And this entire message was meant to just be like a warning of letting you know what's coming and what's happening. So, with where you're at and how you're alchemizing, what you're shifting and what you're changing, truly understand that you embody knowledge that many are coming for. You embody a level of knowledge that many are seeking, and they are willing to do some interesting things to get it. It's giving a lot of like Leo energy, five of wands, seven of wands energy. Okay. And the thing is, as I'm speaking on Leo energy is like attention. They love attention, or they love to try to get attention, or they're going to do different things to try to get attention from you, to get your attention off of what you're supposed to be doing. That's the distraction energy. Okay. So whatever you do, don't allow yourself to get off of whatever your personal mission has been, your personal goals, where you've been called to evolve to. Trust your intuition when it tells you that. Trust your intuition when it tells you that, because your intuition is not lying to you, is not guiding you in the wrong direction. It's because of how magical and connected you are. It's there to be like a guidance and a warning to you, so that you don't get caught up in a situation that would otherwise um put you in like a default some kind of way. This season of your life, you need to understand just how valuable you are and how valuable your energy is. Don't give away the recipes. Don't give away your recipes, your spiritual recipes, your DNA recipes. I just heard a lot about blood type O. I just heard blood type O, and like, yeah, blood type O, because blood type O is the blood that can donate to all blood types. Um but you can't receive from all. 21. I'm saying 21 because now I'm thinking of Hangman and the world energy. Um, hmm. 21 is seen as like the legal age in a lot of places. Here come my geese, baby. That's why I was sitting here gathering this little food. Let me throw this over here. So, long story short, understand just how valuable you are. I was sharing last night on the live that I've noticed that the birds have been fighting much more. There was a major bird fight in the trees yesterday. Um, there was a major bird fight in the trees yesterday. And I was just sitting there like, what in the world is going on? Okay. What's going on within the universe? And I feel like it was an indication of something within just the universal energy. But when I think about birds, I see them as like ancestors and spiritual guides, messengers, right? So if you have two messengers fighting, is giving a vibe of one of them is not authentic in a way. You know what I'm saying? Because if you got two messengers fighting or some type of discord that is happening, there's some type of, oh yeah, here go the mosquitoes, child. There's some type of disconnect with the messages that are being shared or how it's being shared. Okay. There's some type of disconnect that is happening. And with that disconnect, it's like, you know what this is giving me? Prime example. Y'all remember the story in the Bible where there was a lady and ooh, ouch. There was a lady and someone stole her child. Okay. Someone stole her child. The lady stole her child because her baby was killed or something of the sort, was dead. And so she wanted, it's not lighting, dang it. So I need to get a candle lighter. And so she attempted to get this lady's baby, and they got judged, wherever the case is. And so the person said, you know what, I'm just going to cut the baby in half, and you can have half the baby, you can have half the baby. The woman whose baby it really wasn't, she was okay with cutting the baby in half. But the lady whose baby who it really was, she was like, you know what, it's okay, let her have the baby. You know what I'm saying? Because she was really the mom. And that's how the judge knew who the real mom was, because of course the real mom is not going to want the baby to be cut in half so that they both can have half the baby. Okay. So it gives this energy of there's message energy fighting at this time. um and you know how we were actually talking about the messenger birds like a year or so ago, where some messages was channeled on there being birds that were like spy birds. And I eventually end up seeing later on online that there are some countries that actually have spy birds out flying and stuff, and it's meant to help them within the military. So spy birds is actually not a new concept. It's not anything different. It is something that is in place now. And it gave me a vibe of, say, one of the bird energies is like an undercover bird, and one of them, notices what it is, and that causes the fight. It causes the disruption. But it also, aids in like a disruption of like the information and the context, right? And so that is the vibe, y'all. You need to understand that you are a prophet among wolves and sheep. And in that space, use it for your advantage. Don't allow yourself to be tricked or played. Um, use your discernment and your intuition at all times, because you're more higher level than what you may think. Because you may be judging certain things based off of your physical surroundings or the materialism of it all. But you need to understand that the goal has always been to suppress the magic of the spirit and like take the energy of it and suppress the realness of it. Okay. So don't get caught up in it. Um, but I thank y'all for being here. I'm about to get off of here. But as always be real, always be true. Don't be afraid to do what your higher self and your spirit team is calling for you to do. Period. I love you all, and I'm going to see you in the next video. I look forward to hearing you all's thoughts down below in regards to this topic and this conversation. Um, and how does it feel knowing this level that you've increased to, this level that you've grown to, this level that you've evolved to? Um, it is a pretty serious situation, and you are a pretty serious like matter. You need to understand how serious you are, because you have the ability to witness things from a spiritual context that other people, it can be happening right in front of their face, and they'll never see it. They'll never understand what is happening because they don't have the eyes to see it. But you do. So I love you all. And as always be real, always be true. Don't be afraid to do what your higher self and your spirit team is calling for you to do. Period. I'm going to see you all later. Bye.